Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's Market Wrap. So we are back in Philly, and while it wasn't the best Super Bowl ever, it's clear now that Brady is truly the GOAT. He makes everybody around him better. I was lucky enough a number of years ago to get to meet him. Nicest guy I'd want to meet on the planet until he talks football, and then he just goes to a different place. It was great to see him win number 7. Next year we'll be ready. Hopefully my Giants will be back next year. So this week we had 3 really cool pieces come across my desk. Now the first one is a 36mm Rolex, diamond bezel, but a very special dial. It's this turquoise dial with diamonds, probably the prettiest ladies' watch I've seen in a long time. It's a new introduction from about a year ago, but just an amazing piece. We never get to see these cool dials. Love to have that in the collection. The second piece is a Patek 5170, but in platinum. Now when this chrono came out, I was a little skeptical about the diamonds on the dial, but over the years, this piece has really grown on me. It's become super collectible, hard to see them. People aren't trading them very often, so another one we love to have in stock. And the last piece is a Lange. Everybody knows how I feel about Lange. Now this is a Lange that I was, again, not that much in love with because it's a Daymatic. So most Lange ones are manual wind, as we all know. This is the automatic version. It's kind of reversed. But this one I love because it's white gold, has this amazing blue dial. It's a piece that's really grown on me. So we had a super strong trading week. Everything's been really busy. We've seen a big increase in Rolex trading specifically. We've seen a big jump in trading of higher end pieces and especially gold and diamond Rolex. Now, I've been selling Rolex since the early 80s. Traditionally, Rolex was a brand that was, a $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 watch, maybe up to 10. And 90% of the business was in steel and gold. Now, what I've noticed over the last year is we've seen a big jump in precious metal Rolexes. Now, it kind of started with the Rainbow, spread to the Platinum Daytona, now the color dial Daytonas, and even the gold day dates, super hard to come by. They traditionally always traded, gold and white gold Rolexes always traded at a discount. Now they're trading, in many cases, above retail. Now, over the last couple months, prices have pretty much remained stable, but we're still seeing shortages in key models. Really hard for us to keep in stock. The yellow gold Daytona green dial, the white gold blues, and even the regular day dates are really hard to keep in stock at this point. Now I'm assuming the prices are going to remain stable. I think we'll see some new introductions in the spring. Maybe that'll make stuff soften up, but right now, super hard to come by. Now, they often say that imitation is the highest form of flattery, and last week, Zenith introduced a new Chronomaster. Now, it looks suspiciously similar to a watch we are all familiar with and know and love, the ceramic bezel Daytona. Kind of call it a look-alike. Now, Zenith and Rolex have always had a strong connection. The El Primero powered the 16520 steel Daytona for years. I would have loved it if they came out with a new variation that was just a little bit more different. Unfortunately, what happened is as soon as everybody saw this watch, they're like, oh my God, it's a copycat Daytona. But when we look into the watch, it's got an amazing movement. It's a 36,000 beat. It's got a date, which is one of the weaknesses of the Daytona that I hate. I love having that date there. And it's a 1/10 of a second chrono. So I think it's an amazing piece. They've had a good market reaction. But I think if they just took it a little bit further away from the Daytona, I think it would have been more appreciated. I think people would have understood the quality of the movement. Zenith in general is a fairly undervalued brand in my opinion. They've always made great chronographs, but I think they missed it a little bit by getting a little too close to the Daytona. So overall, I think Zenith is jumping on a resurgence in chronographs. So now, chronographs have always been my favorite complication. Kind of started with my dad's Movado, which was powered by the El Primero. Now, Lange datagraphs, Patek 5170, Omega Speedies. The chronograph, which kind of had its heyday in the 70s, seems to be coming mainstream again. And I expect the popularity will continue to increase in 2021. So the last thing we're going to talk about is what we are buying. Lange datagraphs. We're always looking for datagraphs, but specifically the rose gold version. The original black, the deforgraph is an awesome piece, but also the rose gold black dial up-down has become really hard to come by. Always looking for those. Next, we're looking for platinum day dates. 40mm platinum day dates, glacier dials. Again, with this renewed interest in Rolex higher-end pieces have become really hard to come by. And the last piece is always the yellow gold Daytona green dial. It's an awesome piece. Love to get that in the collection. So that was this week's Market Wrap. Look forward to seeing you next week.